Welcome to Link by Golf, the podcast that brings you inside stories and conversations from the world of golf. I'm Ross McGuire, and today I'm joined by David Mullins, the General Manager for Europe at Golf.ai, an innovative platform using AI to reshape how we experience golf. From real-time caddy advice to instant scoring summaries and rules assistance, Golf.ai is bringing next-gen tech to the course and beyond. David shares how the company is building a home for golfers, helping players analyse their game, follow tournaments live, and even book times in seconds. He also touches on his passion for youth golf and how tech can help the next generation fall in love with the sport. If you're enjoying the podcast, please share it with your friends and subscribe. It really helps grow the community, and I'd also like to thank Lomond Golf Tours for their support of the show. Let's get over to David and hear about Golf.ai. Welcome to this week's episode, David Mullins. David, thanks for joining. Great to see you.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks a lot for having me.
No problem at all. We're going to jump straight in, David. So, the future of AI in golf, how is the technology reshaping the game as we go forward?
Yeah, so AI in golf, AI in everything at the moment, isn't it? It's one of these things that over the next few years I think is going to be such a huge element to everything that everyone does. But in relation to AI in golf, from our side, there's a few different elements. I think coaching is going to be one of the biggest things. You look on tour at the moment, you look at Rory and Matt Fitzpatrick and these types of guys, the level of data that they go into when they're looking at not just their swing analysis, but everything, ball flight, spin rates, everything. It's all data. And with the AI tools that you've got available nowadays, if you feed this data in, it spits out perfect models of what you should do and what you shouldn't do and how it works and everything. And I think on top of that, as you move into not just golf, but the tourism side of golf, AI is starting now to become, I don't know if you've ever been on a golf trip, trying to book a golf trip is inherently a bit of a pain. Flights, hotels, then booking tee times. Where do you want to play? Don't know. Who's high handicapper? Who's low handicappers? AI can now do all this for you. So you can, from our side, you can talk to the AI and say, look, I've got 12 guys on a golf trip. I want to book 3 rounds of golf. My highest handicap is 28. My lowest is 2. We want good greens. We want to be near this. We want to be near that. What have you got? Portugal, bang, bang, bang. Spain, bang, bang, bang. Would you like to book it? Yeah, let's do that. And it takes over that for you. So it's great. A little frightening as well. AI is something that, because it's new, people are a bit concerned. But from our side with Golf.ai, I just think it's there to enhance people's game. It's there to enhance people's ability to play and get better. How can we help develop golf using the AI? Because, they get it, probably better than we do.
Fantastic. And then, I'd love to hear about some real world examples for Golf.ai and what you're doing today to make an impact already.
Sure. Yeah. So one of the functions that we've got there is the AI caddy. I don't know if you've ever played golf with a caddy before, but it's a very different experience to playing golf just on your own.
I've had one and I've been one. It was definitely not a great one.
Right. Do you know what? Course knowledge is, I've played golf for a long time, and I think, a lot of people forget they turn up at a new course, they stand on the first tee, they look in front of them, pull the driver out and just smash it. But there's all these different elements. But again, it's how you want to play the game is the element of it. So if I use me as you want a real world example, so I played yesterday, home course. I was playing at Bramall, and there's a par 3 which is the third. Always hit a 7-iron. Always too much short. Always think I can reach it with a 7-iron. Never do. There's 2 bunkers at the front. In the amount of times, it's like my nemesis hole. I'm either right in the bunker, I'm short in the bunker. I've got the AI in my ear, the caddy, and it said to me, it was early in the morning, 6 degrees, the ball won't fly as far because of the conditions. There's a 6-mile-an-hour wind coming from right to left. Normally you'd hit a 7-iron, consider a 6-iron, aim to the back left of the green to avoid the bunkers on the right. Lo and behold, for the first time in a while, I hit the green. So it was great because I hit the green, but also I would have hit a 7-iron. I know I would have. And I'm a decent golfer. I play a lot, but I would have hit a 7, and I probably would have right in the bunker gone short. But because I had that element in my ear saying to me, consider this, it's what was it, 155 to carry the front. All these little elements, and you think, okay, yeah, I'm confident with that 6-iron. Instead of standing with a 7-iron in your hand thinking, well, I hope I don't put this short. I hope I don't go in the right. You're confident that worst case, you're going to be back of the green.
Yeah, and that resonates very strongly. I mean, there's plenty of times where I'll turn up and I'm looking at some ridiculous shot that I just inherently know I shouldn't be hitting. And you probably just need that little voice in your ear to say, maybe not this time.
But you hit it anyway.
Yeah, so Min Woolley at the weekend. Now, he took a long time to play that golf hole when he was in I can't remember what hole, whatever, I think it was the 8th or something like that, and it took him about 30 minutes to play the hole. But his caddy, Bo Martin's, looking at him going, why are you on your knees under a bush trying to hit this thing? It's called take a penalty drop, get 2 club lengths, smash something up there. And that was what he did, and he ended up making bogey from a ridiculous position. So it sounds exciting that you can have an outside influence on you without the need to necessarily bring someone else with you.
I think, yeah, and there's 2 modes, so you can have social mode and competition mode. So that follows the RNA rules. So it basically in competition mode it turns off the weather, so you can't have that because you're not allowed to use apps and things like that. So it turns it off. So it's just around club selection and whatever. But on the social mode, when you play on your own, so if you're trying to get better and if you want to improve your golf game and you're going out and having 18 holes on, even 9 holes on your own, what I like about it enables you to actually think about the game, think about what I'm trying to do, and that could be good for some people. Some people probably won't be bothered, and if they're not, use it and it's a bit of fun. Don't tell your mate you've got a headphone in, or tell them that you've got something else or whatever, and next thing you know, you're 4 up through 4 holes and you're flying. So it's it's good. It's great. I mean, there's so many more facets to Golf.ai as opposed to just the caddy, but the caddy one is great, and it's something that we're working on to try and get better. AI is about learning. It's a learning tool. So when you set it up, and one of the really cool features that I did is you just video your bag. So you get out your iron and you do a video on your phone. Okay, so you video it picks up TaylorMade P790, and then you just video over clubs, take your driver out, video it, and the loft on it, and all the rest of it. Upload it, and it will just go in about 2 minutes, probably a bit shorter, and it will just go and pull a full list of every single club you just videoed.
Wow.
And then based on your handicap, it will tell you how far you should hit them. You can then edit that, because I'm not the longest hitter in the world, so what it thinks the average is for my handicap is wrong. So I then edit down to what I know my stop yardages are, and then it knows what that is. So then when I stand on a tee, it knows that my driver is going to carry 225. It knows that my 6-iron will do this. It knows that my lob wedge will do this. So it understands, and then you hit it, and we're releasing another version of the app very shortly where it constantly is on talking to you. So you can say, right, I'm going to hit a 6-iron. You hit the 6-iron, you walk to it, and it will understand, okay, you pulled that one slightly right. Did you not rotate? And it will learn and learn and learn and learn and learn about your game. And then that's, the more you use it, the more it will help you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the video of the clubs bit's freaky, because you video the clubs and you don't even talk to it, and it just goes, it just pulls the full list of every club, putter, everything, just does it all.
And we've jumped straight in, David. I'd love to just take a little step back and talk to you about yourself. So what about your own career path, and how did you arrive at Golf.ai?
Yeah, so I started playing golf 40 years ago. I'm 45, so when I was 5 years old, I grew up in North Devon. My grandfather played little village up in the north of Devon called Clavelly. It's a really old village, cobbled street, so no cars, can't go down it. And there's a golf course not too far away, so I played golf with my dad, my grandfather, my brother, my cousin, and 5 years old. They were out on a Saturday, and I went and hit a few balls and had a alright swing and quite enjoyed it. And just played golf. And then when I was younger, we moved to Cornwall. I lived right by the course St Mellion, where they used to play the Benson Hedges. So I was very lucky enough to see Sevi and Alaphabel and some of the big greats of the game play when I was younger. I just loved it.
That's a tough track, isn't it? St.
The Nicholas course is awful. I mean, I grew up playing that golf course, so it was, it winds, it goes around corners. There's a 220 carry of a lake. Even the pros complain. They moved the tournament because they complained that they couldn't shoot low enough. One year it was 1 over, I think, the winning score.
I'm sure Monty one year had a right nightmare at St. Helens, and he shot about 84 or something crazy.
There's
he
been
really
some
fell apart.
Awful ones, yes. And Bernard Langer had a big howler there. I know Alaphabel as well. It's not got any easier. Not been recently. No easier than it was 30 years ago. It's just a tough course. And if the conditions, Cornwall, obviously, sometimes the weather's nice, sometimes it isn't. It used to be kind of April into May. So if you've got that weekend of bad weather, I mean, some of the holes dip into the valley and the wind can whistle through them. It was, it was hard course. But, it was great for me as a kid, and, it wasn't quite good enough. Stories for so many. And I moved into finance. My dad's background was finance, financial services. I did that for 20 years, building out, most recently in the last 10 years, building out large fintech, financial services, technology business. Sold out of that, marketing, digital marketing, fintech, and learning about AI and things. And, I got to know the founders of Golf.ai, and they asked me to come on board and, look after moving the business forward with the foundations I've got in technology anyway. And working in golf is it's a dream come true. For 20 years working in financial services, which was great, and I loved it in tech. But, to be able to actually talk about golf and play golf and do things on a daily basis and throw in the love of tech is a dream come true for me. So it's
and make money from it, and it's your career. Well, that's fantastic.
That's the plan. That's the plan. I don't know if we've got a long way to go. We've got a lot to do. There's so much scope in what we can do. I think at the moment it's about really honing down on the bits that we actually want to focus on, as opposed to the rest of it, really.
I mean, you talked already about AI for golfer performance and simplifying bookings. I mean, what other sort of feature capabilities do you see coming to the fore in the future?
So, we've the AI caddy, the bookings element, the golf rules. Now, this is a cool one. So, how many times have you been out on a Saturday playing a comp? Someone, you know how serious these golf competitions on a Saturday morning at your local club can get. Especially when you've got somebody knocking around on 28 and they clearly should be up about 12. But, they may be out of bounds, they may be in a tree, they may be here, they may be there. You don't know. And no one really knows the rules inside out. So we've built an AI golf rules. So on that, nice. But also on WhatsApp. So you can literally call it and just say, and I tested it the other day. So, or you can just type WhatsApp. I will read to you exactly what I said to it, right, I've just knocked the ball off the tee while I was taking my stance. What do I do? And it instantly comes back with, this situation is addressed under rule 6.2b5, which states if the ball falls off the tee or is knocked off the tee by the player before a stroke is made, it may be re-teed without penalty. As long as you haven't attempted to strike the ball, you're free to reset it on the tee. Do you have any other further questions? Yes. I teed off and I've hit my ball into a tree and it's stuck. Now what do I do? And it literally just goes rule after rule after, and tells you exactly what you need to do. So there is never that element of where you could go, well, oh no, yeah, the rules are this. Well, no, they're not. It's very clear for you. But also, we talked about education before for young golfers. I mean, there are a lot of rules, and some of them are probably a bit stupid, but it helps you learn about the game. It helps you understand those rules. So if you do want to take your game to the next level and you do want to move on to amateur and professional tours, it's pretty imperative that you know some of these rules. And then obviously the voice one, you just call it and ask a question and it tells you. But what we're doing, it's great, just for those quick questions. But what we are doing with clubs in the UK and in Europe and America and everywhere at the moment, and Australia, is we're integrating local rules. So they can go to their local club and just take a picture, local rules on the board outside the changing room or whatever, and upload it, and it will scan it, and it will pull and upload the golf club's local rules. So when you arrive at that golf club, say you've gone to St. Melian, as an example, on a golf tour, as you pull into the driveway, you'll get a ping notification from Golf.ai to tell you what the local rules are. So you know already before you tee off what those rules are. And it just gives you an overview, anything, there might be whatever, it could be some clubhouse rules, anything, but they're just those little things so you arrive ready and prepared. Some people may not care, but normally if you're going to a golf resort or a golf course wherever you've never been to, I like to get there early, get a feel for it, have a mooch about, have a putt, driving range, go in the clubhouse, just gives you those things so you're prepared to play before you do.
Well, and it's also, it saves you getting the 4 pieces of paper all over your scorecard. They're like, where did I put all this stuff? And then you end up in some ridiculous room and you can't even find a piece of paper. So, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
I guess the AI capability there is giving you the potential to scale really quickly, right? That's the difference that you're seeing. So before, you could imagine that people would go use whatever technology and somebody would need to go and type that in. Rather than what you're saying is it's effectively just scanning it using OCR, then the AI is ingesting it, bringing it all together and going, right, here you go, here's your set of local rules today. That sounds really cool to me.
Yeah, only 15% of golf clubs in the UK have their local rules on their website. So, and a lot of them are embedded in the background somewhere, so you can't actually find them. So, I'm not saying everyone would, but if you wanted to go and find the local rules of a club anywhere, you're going to have to do a bit of digging.
They're usually stuck in the back of the scorecard, and that's the only place they're documented, isn't it?
Yeah, and just clip it on, there you go. But, take a picture of it, load it in, help out your fellow golfers, and then the next person who turns up tomorrow, they know what the rules are. Yeah, it's already there for you. So, that's one part. But we are, we're working with the RNA, we're working with England Golf and stuff, and we want to try and help everyday golfers understand more about the golf rules and have access to them. No one carries a book with the golf rules in their golf bag. I used to when I was a kid. I don't know why. I think I maybe thought it was cool. Clearly it wasn't. But if you're on the golf course, you literally have no idea, but everyone's got their phone, and everybody has access to that, and literally free of charge, WhatsApp number, I've done this, there's your answer. And you're not falling foul of anything, and also if you're out with your mates, it can be a bit of fun as well. Somebody shanks one over there and you're like, oh, hang on, let me check the golf rules on this one. It fills those elements in. But yeah, partnering with the RNA is a big part for us to really push forward golf rules as technology moves forward in golf, because it's an industry that inherently can sometimes be slightly left behind from a technology point of view. Modernizing the game, because it's just the way it's going to go. It's the way everything's going now. It's like I've got young kids and they know more about it than me.
Do you see a potential? So you mentioned tour data and player data earlier on there. What about having that rules engagement on like the tours? Because I think they struggle to scale in the same way, right? They're inherently reliant on human beings to go and give a rules. Yeah, really more in a situation. So do you envisage a future where you can take care of maybe 95 to almost 99% of those rulings?
I don't see why not. I think that, we've all seen it, if you watch golf, and you see when they just wave, don't they? And then some random guy comes over with a lanyard on and starts looking at the golf ball and scratching his head and goes on a walkie-talkie, and it's like, anyone know what this is? It'd be amazing if you could literally just take a picture, load it into the AI and let it spit the rules out. In answer to your question, is that a possibility? 100%, because the way the technology works is it just learns and learns and learns and learns, and it learns by examples, it learns by historic data, and it is all data driven. We work with loads of different companies in relation to data and elements of data of golf courses and what courses are doing and all the rest of it. But yeah, on tour, this happens. And you literally just have someone who just goes, yeah, right, there's the rule. Or before they even get to the ball, they're already literally told mid-route, because they will have an official with them, just to let you know here, you're going to have to take a penalty drop 2 club lengths from from where you are. They go up. They know it before they get there instead of spending 10 minutes, waving people over and holding up play. So it'd be a great function. We're talking to Live Golf. We're talking to PGA. We're in conversation at the moment. I've got a call tomorrow, someone from Ryder Cup. That's more about our scorecard, but the rules element is always built in there. So, there's so much capability and function that AI.golf can give people. It's crazy, really.
Yeah, and I'd love you to talk about that scorecard capability.
Yeah.
I played around with that on your website a little bit the other day, but clearly you're going to be more of an expert than me. I'd love to know a little bit more about it and what the concept is.
Yeah, cool. So, two parts to it. So the first part is the Pro Tours. Okay, so we have a online scorecard which plugs into Live Golf, PGA Tour, and all the other tours, and it will give you live data and live feedback on everything that's happening on the course as it happens. So, for example, we look at the weekend, and we go back to the players, because everyone knows, like, with Rory, instead of just when you go to these old apps, we'll just give you a scoreboard and it just says Rory McIlroy, hole 17, 20 under, for example, and you're still like, okay, but what is he on 17, or is he teeing off on 18? Where is he? So it gives you a full script. Rory is approaching the 17th hole. He's got 163 yards to play in. He has a 9-iron in hand. The wind is coming 20 miles an hour across the bit. So it's like having, and you can click a button and it will tell, and it talks to you. It's like having live commentary and like pulling that from multiple sources in real time. So it gives you real time feed of scorecard, professional data, whether it's Live or it's PJ, whatever it is. And this is when we talk about the Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup is huge. It's a great event. If you aren't able to watch it, if you aren't able to attend, if you're not lucky enough to get there, but you're not able to be able to watch it, it's in America, it's in Italy, time differences, whatever. If you've got that, and it's like live commentary, but you just click it and it's constantly feeding to you. It's a great tool to have. And it pulls from everywhere, and it pulls all the data in it, and it keeps you informed of what's going on. And then obviously you've got your everyday golfer. We're talking with a few smaller tours and stuff at the moment, integrating so some of the amateur tours that work with some of the other apps and stuff. Is there some way we can facilitate their scoring system to give that little bit more of commentary on top of it, pulling out the scorecards and stuff and building in that? But at the moment, so the scorecard element, we can give any website anywhere in the world a small piece of code. They can embed the scorecard onto the website, and that will sit there as a live scorecard, all built AI, all AI driven. So it will literally give you, so when they have the interview within half an hour afterwards, it will give you the full, Rory said this, Rory said that, Rory said, but real time, not an hour later, or let's listen to it.
Yeah.
It's there straight away. And we also then spit out a live podcast within half an hour of the event finishing, which gives you a full breakdown with snippets from what they said and who did this and what they did. And it's like a 10-minute podcast. Again, AI driven.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the part that I thought that was really nice was you talked about the summary a little bit. It's great. You can go onto whatever website, whether it's pgatour.com or DP World Tour, and you can click through all the players and click on each hole. But the part that I liked was that you can just get that summary, right? You're not having to do all the clicking. You're not having to do all the scrolling through. You can literally just say, give me this player's score and tell me what happened today. I really like that capability.
If you're into golf and you just want to see it, but also you're thinking about like the next tournament. So Minwoo Lee, obviously won at the weekend, entered the Texas Houston Open as a long shot, but emerged as the master of the Memorial Park, capturing his first PGA Tour title with a record-setting 20 under. Australian's journey began with a solid 69, building momentum into Friday, 6 under, 10 putts across 10 holes, Saturday separation, pressure-packed final round. It really gives you like a bit of a dive into what happened, but also live as it happened, but then you can go back and have a look. And if you wanted to say, the Masters is coming, as everyone knows, it's exciting. Scotty Scheffler tied second. How did he play? How was it? And it gives you all that data.
The Masters are as far as I'm aware, they are talking about having every single shot effectively live through the website now.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So then, but if you don't see it live, of course, all these summaries can be captured by AI and brought together for someone who needs to do a quick catch up and wants a little bit of colour on what's happened in the event or a specific player.
Well, yeah, we will be doing a Masters live, so we'll be watching it start to finish. I mean, it's just any excuse to sit and watch the Masters start to finish. You know, it's work. Sorry, kids, I can't come do this. Sorry, I'm not going to the shop. I've got to sit and do. But we're going to be watching it live as it happens, and we're going to sit there and go through it. And there's going to be all that continual. So obviously, with all the AI stuff that we've got plugged in, but it's going to be that constant updating and commentary about what's going on, who's doing this, shots of this, and we're doing a big piece as we build up to the Masters as well, because the scorecard is a big part of the business, because it is such a broad, wide range audience. It's not just you have to be on a course playing. Scorecard, you can be anywhere in the world and you can get a really, really good feel for what's happening live at that moment in that tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, David, that's incredibly exciting. What's next for Golf.ai over the next few years? What do you see for the future for yourselves? What's your vision going forward?
Take over. So the AI world is going to change so much. You know, for me, the next 3 years for Golf.ai is about building out what we've already embedded as a business. So understanding the way golf is going to go and being at the forefront of that, you know, not just the caddy, not just the scorecard, but Golf.ai as a business. You know, we bring people in as Golf.ai and then they find within that what they are looking for. And it could be, you know, WhatsApp rules. You know, I'm anywhere, I'm in America. What are the rules? No idea. Is it different? Right, here you go. Here's that part. Not really sure what to hit. Let me just ask the caddy, you know, straight into your ear. This is what you should be doing here. And then with the scorecards, you know, keeping people informed, being a home for understanding what's happening on the tours, who's doing what, who's playing well, what's happening at this precise moment in time in Houston, in the tournament, Ryder Cup's on, Masters is on, what's going on. Just being the home for golfers all over the world to be able to access data and analyze their own game and get better at their own golf game, but also just enjoy golf, you know, not be stood on a tee with a club in your hand thinking, I'm not sure this is the right one, because you've had the validation already telling you this is exciting, but thinking, actually, look, I want to find out, you know, what's going on. Touch of a button. Because nowadays people want stuff now. I don't want to wait. So when you go to golf trips, you go to Spain, it takes you 48 hours to book a tee time. I can book a tee time within 60 seconds of landing in Malaga Airport by scanning a QR code. That kind of ability and speed to be able to get things, taking the game of golf, kind of pulling it forward into the age of technology and AI. But really, for me personally, it's a focus on, I really want to focus on youth golf and education and help young golfers fall in love with the game. And by doing that, building in, because my kids, everything's technology. You know, if you took them to an old school golf club, they just, you know, you can't have your phone, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. So building in technology and forward thinking and the love of the game and just kind of driving those foundations forward, I think is really important. And, you know, what I want to do with the business as we move forward in the next 3 years.
Fantastic. Well, David, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciated you coming on. In terms of people finding out more about Golf.ai, I'm assuming it's just Golf.ai is the place to go, but any other places they can find you?
Yeah, well, just Golf.ai. The actual physical app on the App Store will be released. I've seen all the bits for it now. It'll be out any time. At the moment, it's a web app. But yeah, go to Golf.ai and have a look about. You know, use the caddy. At the moment, it's completely free. So go and set an account up while you can. Get an account set up. Upload, video your golf clubs. You know, see what it does for you. Try it out. And what I want is I want feedback. I want people to use it. Don't, you know, use it and then drop us a follow on Instagram, comment and tell us it's good, tell us it's bad, tell us whatever. AI is about learning And that's what we want to do. We want to learn how to make this function better and the great game of golf, how we can pull it forward and make more people enjoy it.
Well, listen, thanks so much for joining, David. I really appreciate your time. That was fantastic.
That's it for this episode of Link by Golf. A big thanks to David Mullins for joining me and sharing how Golf.ai is transforming the game through smart, accessible technology. From live tournament tracking to helping golfers of all levels sharpen their game, it's clear Golf.ai isn't just about data, it's about making golf more engaging, intuitive and future ready. If you enjoyed the conversation, please follow the podcast, share it with your friends and leave a review. It really helps grow the community. Until next time, I'm Ross McGuire. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Lomond Golf Tours for their support. Let's hear from them now.
At Lomond Golf Tours Scotland, we understand that choosing the perfect golf trip can bring its challenges. With more than 500 golf courses in Scotland and another 2,000 around the UK and Ireland, many of our guests don't know where to start. But for Lomond Golf Tours, it's not just about the golf, it's about providing an experience that will exceed expectations, that will turn dreams into realities, and that will create memories that last a lifetime. Lomond Golf Tours have helped thousands of guests build bespoke golf trips to create a magical experience. Travel in style, whether executive chauffeur travel, whether it's golf on a major championship venue or one of our hidden gems, 5-star accommodation or a boutique bed and breakfast, or is it whisky tasting on a private boat? Lomond Golf Tours are here to help build the tour of a lifetime. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion or ticking it off your bucket list, embark on a trip that you'll remember forever. To learn more about our offerings for 2025 and beyond, visit www.lomondgolftours.com.
Now let's get back to the pod.